to hold your breath. Don't be scared, don't be spooked, do not fear, we don't bite. Although those creatures come in droves, everything is spooky. Keep things light. Welcome to the welcome to the Valley of Death. Hello and welcome to the Valley of Death, where everything is spooky, but we keep things light. Who the hell was asking for a sequel to the remake of A House on Haunted Hill? Return to House on Haunted Hill came out in 2007. That's right, 8 years after the remake of House on Haunted Hill. Who was asking for a sequel 8 years later? The movie was direct to DVD and didn't go to theaters because who else actually really wanted this to go to theaters? And was directed by Victor Garcia, who directed other such great horror movies such as Hellraiser Revelations. Now I'm sure you're all excited to see what surprises await us when we return to the House on Haunted Hill. Let's get this started, shall we? We start off with the credits, which basically gives us a reintroduction to the first movie, where it basically just shows all of the inmates going mad and attacking the doctor. One thing I will say about these opening credits is they're honestly very ugly. They're almost seizure-inducing, and they have that weird, skip, zoom, flashy effect that a lot of horror directors thought that this was incredibly edgy and a really cool thing to introduce into movies. Horror movies weren't just doing it, a lot of action movies were also doing this, and this is, well, it's just stupid. At least the first movie had stop-motion effects. That was actually really cool. Please don't make me give any positive feedback to the first movie. Cut to present day, and we start with an empty room with sad music. Really? That's what we're starting off with? I mean, yeah, we had the credits, which had, all the stuff, going on in the asylum, but that was from the first movie. This is the new movie. You want to introduce something at least a little bit, exciting. With the original movie, we had screams coming from the background and floating heads, and as much as I don't really like it, at least in the first movie, we had the introduction to showing the mad doctor and all the inmates going nuts and literally just tearing everything down, only for the insane asylum to shut down. Now, it's an empty room with sad music with a girl getting out of a shower. It's so scary! This is Ariel Wolf, who is the sister to Sarah Wolf, one of the survivors from the first movie, where she seems to be suffering from not calling my family back to show character development disease.
Ariel, this is Sarah. How many voicemails do I have to leave before you call me back? Damn it, I need to talk to you. Please, call me back.
It's very rare, but incredibly deadly. She is in charge of a magazine called XTD. Like STD?
Boss, I have a great idea for the name of our next magazine.
Well, go on, man. Let's hear it.
Obviously, it's gonna be like on pop culture and all stuff like that, but in reality, it's just gonna be absolute smut, especially with, all the sexy women all over the magazine cover. So, I thought the name of the magazine should be XTD.
STD?
No. XTD.
Why on earth would you want to give us a name for a magazine that's literally one letter off on the acronym Sexually Transmitted Disease?
Maybe alright, maybe I'll run with something else.
I don't know about you, man, but I don't want the people looking at the cover of our magazine and thinking, oh yes, if I were to ever meet this woman, I would get an STD from her.
I don't know, I just thought it would be a little bit edgy.
Diseases aren't edgy, man. Diseases are diseases.
I guess you wouldn't really like the idea for my other name then.
What is it?
Sex kills you.
You're fired! Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and dive right in with this. Ariel is not a likable character, and she's the main character. Say what you want about Barbossa and Jean Grey from the first movie, but they at least had a tiny bit of character to them. And at least were, well, likable is not really the right word, but at least they gave off an okay performance. With Ariel, you just hate her freaking guts, and she's boring. Not only does she not call family back when you know they need help, but she also stereotypes that all photographers are gay?
If you ask me, I think he's looking for an excuse to see you.
I thought all photographers were gay.
Oh, for a gay guy, sure likes to stare at your ass.
Was that ever even a thing? Yay, more unlikable characters!
Having fun?
It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it.
Oh, excellent. We're getting really close to having your whole cast as jerks quota. This is really good.
Does this rap ever work with women?
It's not a rap if it's true.
Right.
What was the point of this scene? I mean, I guess you could argue it was to introduce him, but... No, seriously, what was the point of that scene? We cut to a college campus where a professor is giving a talk on a cult that took place during the Spanish Inquisition. How the church basically made it go underground because of all of its, well, heresies and other really bad stuff. And basically, they had an idol that went missing during this time period.
And after that shameless plug, I thank you.
Now, I wonder if this character is going to be likable. Oh, good, he's already bonking a student! However, the hanky-panky had to stop because he receives news on Sarah Wolf. Ariel also gets a phone call from her mother receiving news about her sister.
Mom? Mom, what's wrong?
The neighbors found her early this morning. The cops say she shot herself.
Oh gee, if only you were far more caring and you weren't a complete jerk and you actually looked into the mental health of your sister after such a traumatic event. If only! Ariel goes to investigate her sister's apartment where, yay, something spooky actually happens!
What is it? Are you okay? What's wrong?
The professor shows up, also known as Dr. Richard Hammer. The good doctor knows Ariel's sister because somehow she was able to get a journal, which the crazy doctor who owned the house on Haunted Hill basically had a journal. Where did she get this journal? It wasn't even in the first movie, which gives clues to the location of the idol he's been looking for.
According to Dr. Vannicott's journal, the statue is here in Los Angeles inside the Hill House. Sarah thought she was being followed.
What the hell are you talking about?
The idol is worth millions to the right collector.
Okay, well, we've just had way too much plot just dropped on us within the first 10 minutes. I mean, we have a creepy idol, we have the house on Haunted Hill, we have a botched family relationship because of the house on Haunted Hill, we have a weird cult, and we have now some other group who's interested in getting the idol because, well, money reasons, and this is just a lot to really take in.
It's just a lot of pressure.
Ariel goes back and sees that her sister mailed her the journal when she is attacked by mercenaries. Turned out, they killed her sister and they are after the idol.
You're after the Baphomet statue.
Bingo. Give that girl a prize.
Hammer and his crew go to the house first so they can find the idol, where of course the merc, named Desmond, makes it to the house where we find out that he used to be Hammer's student. What a twist!
Who's your buyer?
A gentleman never kisses and tells.
This statue belongs in a museum, not in the hands of some private collector.
It belongs in a museum.
We also find out that Hammer's bonking partner likes to bonk other people as well. Why am I not
surprised?
Hey! That's my job. Ariel warns them that Vannicutt, the mad scientist, put in a mechanism that locks down the whole house, which is what happened in the first movie.
That's how Price's guests got trapped in the first place. If this place goes into lockdown, we'll be trapped.
That's why our first stop's gonna be the master control room. Let the tour begin.
So the group goes to look for it to turn it off. Why the hell didn't you just turn it off? Turns out the idol might be in the basement, so they all split up to cover more ground.
You know, try to cover as much ground as possible.
Whoa, time out. You're not seriously suggesting that we all split up in a haunted house?
See, I kind of like this guy. He's at least a little bit smart. Speaking of this guy, he's really the only likable character in this entire movie.
You were like UFC heavyweight champ, dude! Just so you know, you fight like a girl. Like a lady.
Whatever.
Oh great, the nurse is from Silent Hill. Oh great, that's 2 references I made to Silent Hill in these 2 reviews. Now, instead of seeing more rooms that weren't explored in the first movie, which I think would actually be, well, at least a tad bit cool to see, you know, more stuff in this house, instead, we get more forced character development. Now, the reason none of this works is because they are adding so much drama to the characters that we know absolutely nothing about. Take this scene, for example. They're talking about their history together, even though the only thing we have seen them do is have sex!
What's going on between the two of you?
Does it really matter?
I can't believe you're doing this.
You'll get over it.
I loved you, Michelle.
The only thing you love, Richard, is you.
One of the mercs thinks that he may have found the idol when we get our first kill.
Can you eat me? I think I got it.
By the way, every time we meet one of these ghosts, we always get a flashback to who they were and how they were killed. Why do I care? We then cut to another stupid merc who clearly lets all of her hormones do all the talking.
Stay right where you are.
Ah, yes, I too would let my guard down on a very, very important mission in an insane asylum, no less, just so I could get bonked by two women who are from the insane asylum. Also, tell me what other horror movie this scene reminds you of. If you guessed The Shining, then you would be correct, my good sirs and misses. Because hey, if we can't come up with an original movie, might as well steal ideas from good ones, right? The merc runs into the ghost of the doctor when... Okay, you can't do something a Looney Tunes character would do and consider it scary. This is funny and improbable more than just, than scary. Like, what? Also, would you actually die from that? I mean, you'd be in pain, but, I mean, you wouldn't die, I think. Desmond hears the gunshots and things start going to hell. Okay, how come when she sees any of these visions, the ghosts don't go after her and try to kill her? I mean, yeah, they tied her up in a straitjacket, but why didn't they kill her? Mr. Wrestler Dude gets torn asunder when... Oh, okay, what kind of scream was that? And then the whole house gets locked down. Ariel escapes, however, the house now has her boyfriend, making her escape entirely pointless because she literally walks back inside! Also, this is something I totally forgot to mention, but Amanda Rigetti, who plays Ariel Wolf in this movie, was also the sister to Jared Padalecki's character in the Friday the 13th remake. I can't believe I'm saying this, but holy crap, she's a lot better in that movie than she is in this movie. Another merc dies when everyone finally gets the bright idea to jump the bad guys. Wow, you finally did something smart! They discuss that there's possibly a way out through the sewer, because of course there is, when they realize that the idol could actually be in the crematorium.
I remember Vanicut mentioning in his journal that the Baphomet idol was guarded by the dead. I figured he was speaking metaphorically, but there's a crematorium in the basement.
Look, I don't give a damn about the idol. All I care about is getting out of your life.
What about you, Richard? Is that all you care about? Are you really gonna let this opportunity pass you by?
Okay, going back to Dr. Hammer, other than one sentence at the beginning stating that this is his life's work, we don't see or care how much he actually, cares about this thing that he is willing to give up his life and risk the other's safety for. He has not shown 1 ounce of negative qualities to his character other than, just the weird random bonking at the beginning. But that's the thing. He actually seems like a very honorable character. We have not seen 1 ounce of proof that shows that his character is slimy and would literally throw all these people away just to get something. They make their way towards the exit when we find out this teeny tiny important fact about the house.
Somehow this great man went from saving people to butchering them. Why?
Maybe he was nuts?
The church believed the statue possessed an evil influence over men.
Are you saying the statue corrupted Vanica and his staff somehow?
Crazy, huh?
Wait a second. So you're telling me that the whole reason why everyone went crazy in this asylum was not because of the doctor literally driving everyone crazy, but it's because of the satanic idol that drove him crazy, that drove everyone else crazy. Why? You're telling me that the base of the series of everyone going crazy was because of an idol? This is freaking stupid! They find another weird machine when things start going wacky again. Desmond and Bong partner escape when Ariel dives in to save Kyle. Harry! Don't worry, she'll be fine. She's a mermaid, for crying out loud. Oh wait, wrong Ariel. What is the point of these flashbacks? Of course, the one character I kind of like dies. Desmond turns on bunk partner because we need more unnecessary tension when she runs into her room and gets crushed by a fridge. Okay, I'm really starting to think that this script was written by a Looney Tunes writer. Our heroes find the exit, but the house will still not let them leave unless they destroy the idol.
Destroy the statue.
Harry, what is it? You okay?
We can't leave.
I know how to make it stop. The spirits here, they want to be at peace, but the evil won't let them.
Oh, so that was the point of the useless flashbacks. But wait, why was none of this introduced in the first movie? Sarah and Eddie escaped through the attic, and the ghosts weren't trying to stop them to break a curse. They just wanted to kill them. This plot makes no damn sense in this context of a series! Okay, sure, the house wanted revenge on the descendants of the people who did escape. But then why aren't they killing Ariel, since she's the sister of the person they tried to kill in the last movie? And why are they just giving her the cutscenes to free all the souls all of a sudden? Why? We're back looking for the idol now when they find the one furnace that leads to it.
If we don't make it, I just want you to know that.
What? That, you make a lot of typos for the editor of your magazine.
This isn't the time for lovey-dovey jokes. They enter the heart of the house.
It seems to be organic. The heart of the house.
Oh my god, why did they make it literal? Apparently, they can't actually destroy the darn thing, so they suggest just throwing it into the sewer.
The sewer tunnel. The statue is small enough to fit through the grate.
Well, the script is a piece of crap. Might as well treat the idol in the same way and flush it down the toilet. Dr. Ghost sees the idol has gone missing and gets some creepy stuff in motion, starting with the death of Desmond. You know this guy doesn't have the idol, right? And of course, Hammer just has to screw things up because that's what everyone else has been saying he's going to do, so of course he has to fulfill his character trait.
What are you doing?
I've been looking for this statue for 20 years. It belongs to me.
Vanica, for some odd reason, basically pulls a
Let them fight.
From Godzilla towards the ghost. Hammer breaks free from the temptation of wanting the idol. Eventually, Vanica is just done with it, kills Dr. Hammer, and Ariel drops the idol into the sewer, Thanosing all the ghosts. Yes, I love making out with you all covered in blood. And finally, we approach our ending where the sun is shining and everything is all back to normal.
Baphomet's evil has been trapped in that house for over 50 years. We set it free.
You're saying the house wanted us to succeed.
The house wanted you to succeed? The house wanted you to succeed? No, it didn't! It was a stupid cloud ghost from the first movie with a whole bunch of really crazy people. They just wanted revenge on the people who escaped from the building in the first place, and now it's all just, oh no, we want the people to come back so we can free the souls of all the people who are trapped in the stupid building. This is a stupid plot! This movie is so bad! I honestly can't believe that they somehow got a sequel to the remake of A House on Haunted Hill. Now, don't get me wrong, I really don't like the remake of A House on Haunted Hill, but at least it had some similarities to the original, and a very broken but okay haunted house plot that was very cliche. This not only does not have any originality to it, it just makes no darn sense in the context of the first movie. On top of that, you don't like anybody in this movie, you literally want them all to die. Except for one. God rest him in peace, Kyle.
Not to mention, if you watch the unrated Blu-ray edition of this movie, apparently there's like a choose your own adventure, choose your own camera angle settings to this movie that you can watch, so that way each experience when you watch the movie, it's a tad bit different. Well, who the hell would actually want to do that, because this movie is a piece of crap?
And the movie just overall seems very choppy, broken, and the rules of these ghosts just don't make any sense. They just crapped this script out just so they could try to make a little bit more money off of, well, whoever was clamoring for a sequel to this stupid series. The original is a classic, and it is such an incredible good movie that I can't believe they made a remake, which not only was not good, but for some odd reason they decided to make a sequel. And ladies and gentlemen, I never, ever, ever want to go back to the house on Haunted Hill. This has been the Valley of Death, where everything is spooky but we keep things light, and holy moly, nah!